What's popping off, boys?
Yeah,
This is
I'll
a
have
fun
to make
session.
something for that one. Yeah. Sorry about the little awkward pauses there. It's trying to design a space and then doing, some things didn't work out as planned. Transition between combats to combats is still finicky.
That's fine.
Plus, you all killed the character that I was expecting to have a conversation that you all would listen.
Ouch.
Okay.
Those gosh darn
I went
players.
vigilante.
I don't like letting people run away, because 9 times out of 10, when they run away, they call more troops.
That wasn't gonna happen in this. Yeah, you should have known that's not gonna happen in this situation. But
Well, I mean, like, I didn't know. For all I knew, Dreams could have ran upstairs
there's
and
not much
died.
left of the castle.
This is the upstairs.
Yeah,
No, there's more stairs. There do
they
be
go
stairs
back
there.
down.
There's
Yeah, they
two
go
sets of
back
stairs
down.
that both go up and down.
Yeah, silly goose.
Yeah.
So there was more than one way to get to the third floor. That's all.
Yeah. And as far as
Honestly,
the
though,
reason I was like, he need to die.
even
As far as I knew, he was gonna go get friends.
even if you didn't throw those axes, honestly, I think Dreams would have killed him probably.
I would have
Yeah.
put him to sleep. Because I wasn't confident that I could hit him.
Mhm.
So I would have just put him to sleep, and then I would have used that. I would have used the level 2 sleep on just only him. Yeah.
Did Homeboy down in the field survive? The guy that got shot that I dragged behind the tree?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Buddy. All right.
They there's a bloody field out there. That is
Yeah.
a bloody field out there. I'll go ahead and make that a daylight, so you all can go back and look at it.
Nico can't even freaking breathe right now. Thought of it.
See all those fucking dead bodies out in the goddamn. There's one crossbowman you all missed, but he just will get captured.
Yeah, that was the guy in the North Tower.
I like how Nico just avoided all of that. Just snuck in through the back.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Thank you. This was
absolutely.
good.
Yeah, no, this was just as awesome as I thought it would be.
You all
This is
got
great.
fucking assault a castle.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
was
I
nice.
I don't think I've ever done just like a castle, invasion.
Castle crawler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it because it was just.
I'll never forget the one other campaign kits.
Oh, the fucking.
The one it was in Frisia.
Oh yeah, it's the sister
Or-
one to this basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the one you all went to was it Caravan? Yeah, the Fortress of Caravan.
And there was that one doorway we had to get through.
Yes.
And that was where all the bad guys were.
God.
Except I wasn't there for that fight. I think I was away,
Oh.
or maybe I can't remember.
It was
I
like
don't
a multi. It was like a multi-session.
Yeah.
You all were in Caravan for like 2 or 3 sessions. just
Yeah.
'cause it was a lot of enemies to fight.
Also, I hate to be that guy, but do we level up?
Yes, you absolutely level up.
Really?
Level 4.
Yes, you absolutely
wow.
level up.
Let me do
Hell yeah.
that.
It's a major.
I think I'm going to take a feat kits, and it's the feat that goes along with the half dragon race. It's,
so
for
lucky.
it's called the improved. no, lucky. It's the improved breath weapon.
Okay. Dope.
We do leveled up though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me message.
Level 5.
I'm taking heavy armor master.
Level 4. I was joking.
What is that?
All bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage I take from non-magical weapons is reduced by 3,
Whoa, I didn't know.
as long as I'm wearing heavy armor.
Nutty.
And
Probably
I
be
also increase my strength score by 1.
Hmm.
So I now have a strength of 17? What? It should be higher. Oh, wait. Is it applied it? Did I not apply it?
So
Oh,
what
I
do you
applied
want
it.
to give Mr. Jarman?
I do be
That was
thinking
cool.
he was
19
cool
now.
and mysterious, though.
He
I get the lucky feet.
yeah. When Tristan, when you said like, is there any way Ryan could have prevented him from doing that? In my mind, I'm like, yes, there is, but you don't want him to.
I would have loved to have punched him in his
No, you
bitch
don't
face.
understand. He would have fucked you all up.
Not if I
Yeah.
laid on him.
He would have absolutely TPK'd you all.
If I laid on him, he couldn't have done shit.
Mm-mm.
I would go straight into the alright, let's cheese this fight mode and run up to him and just grab his weapon and fight with him about his weapon.
We don't need that weapon to cast.
No, he don't need that weapon to cast, but it immediately gets rid of one of his attacks.
Oh, that's fine. You don't need that. You don't need that.
And as soon as I figured out what the arcane focus was, I'd be like, that's mine too. I'd just play big burly guy taking things from
Provided
dude.
that you are still alive by that point, you wouldn't be.
Eh.
He could absolutely TPK you.
Defensive duels is kind of
With
cool.
Lady Jocelyn there
You're
and everything.
You're very lucky that he had bigger things to do.
I
Or
still
be
think he's a
stinky.
bitch.
Yeah.
I'm things.
What?
Yeah, Lady Jasmine. I did not expect her like second in command fucking
Just getting
You're
crits every turn.
I did not expect him to be a fucking absolute monster like he was. Just murdered
Who?
That
that
silver
Nufra.
dragon dude.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was good. He got us in that door.
Oh, so many nat 20s from him, and I'm like, I don't even want him to do so much, but just I kept rolling, and I'm like, well, he's gonna do something epic.
Yeah, dude was absolutely tearing it up.
How'd y'all like the characters I threw at you?
I like him. The goat was really like the voices were really good. I think. Yeah, like this session was very enjoyable.
Yes.
Just wait till you meet Alec Genci.
Papa.
Very kind.
Is it? Oh my god.
How did you like
He's the one you were
running-
talking about.
He's
How did you like running 1,000,000 enemies, Hunter?
not as bad. I mean, like doing because there's when you have so many enemies on the field, and like I basically when I started doing just the waves of there's two fights going on. That which was happening out in the field, in which I'm just gonna do like everyone goes at once. I had like 5 d20s. I was rolling for groups that were fighting against each other.
Mhm. Yeah, I've done a lot of enemies
It went
before,
really
and
well.
this was way smoother than what I did. This is real good.
Yeah, that was really good.
I found the best way to do mass enemies is separate them by their like basic types. So I have 3 types of generic enemies. There's bastards with torches, which I ended up just throwing in with bastards, but they're on the map with torches. And then there's bastards with crossbows, and that was it. I separated them just by that, and then of course your named characters.
And then having zones too worked really well.
Yep.
And I didn't really notice too bad the transitions between the zones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean it's basically like, are you on the walls or in the grounds within the castle? Well, then you're on a turn sequence. Are you in the field fighting amongst the battlements? Right. Well, then you're on a kind of wave system.
And we got to they got to the gate before we got the gate open by like a lot.
Yeah, it's just they were taking consistent casualties from the archers
For sure.
because of that. But yeah, because let's see, I think how many men did the ladies as casualties?
There's like 7 or 8.
9 of
6
the
maybe.
10 of the ladies' men are casualties.
Oh,
Probably
the madam's men.
about
a shame.
6 of them are probably dead, 4 are just wounded.
But not that guy that Tristan saved.
Nope, he's alive.
I saved him. Yeah.
You're a hero. You totally made up for killing that scout.
No, I
good.
didn't.
I don't know.
No, the thing, it's I wasn't trying to make up for anything. Ren has a twisted perspective that is all of his enemies will always be his enemies. All of his allies need to be protected.
Brothers in arms, for sure.
Yeah.
Because you really are just a soldier.
After what happened in my backstory, my character just does not feel. He just cares for those who fight alongside him. Which, that's why, like, I remember we had that comment about PvP when Hunter was saying, I fully expect one of you guys to fight Ren one day. I do not. If there became a fight that was between Ren and another player, Ren would just walk away. And
like, I'm not sure about it now, but going off from that session, I'm like, it's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Now I'm not so sure.
The thing is, as soon as Ren felt that he was no longer welcome in a group, he would just leave, and I'd make another character. That's exactly what would happen. He'd be like, "Fuck you, fuck this, I'm out," and he'd leave.
Just hope you don't ever have to fight the lady.
I mean,
they are mercenaries.
Yeah.
At any point later on in the campaign, you could run into them, and they'll be like, "I'm sorry, but
they're supposed to kill you.
We're being paid. You
Well,
have to get here, and we're supposed to guard here. I'm sorry."
Those are her men. These are my men.
I mean, we could. I don't know. I feel like we could take the lady.
But that's
I think we probably could.
If scenario.
Yeah, it's just her armor class is so low.
Her armor class is low, but she's a glass cannon. She's a glass cannon. And Nufra, well, fucking, I'm making Nufra into a goddamn glass nuke after fucking today. He was just gonna be a side character, but now he's gonna be like, I'm gonna make him into something.
He earned it. Yeah, he earned it.
Yeah, I would love to get hit like his sword.
His sword's so cool. I need to draw a design, like show you all what it's like designed after.
I think like at some point I need to pick up a feat, like the dual wielder feat, so I can actually dual wield weapons that aren't light.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is I have to use dexterous weapons or finesse weapons, or else I can't use my dex modifier. So
2 rapiers.
Just be like.
That's not too bad, honestly.
Just be like the Dandar fellow.
Consistent.
Just use a longsword and a dagger and just scream or howl at everything.
If you scream,
it's not bad,
you are no longer an ally.
You're like, I just want him to shut up.
I'm only killing you because you're annoying.
That fellow was from Schoonar.
Good. Now he's dead.
No, he's dead. He came a long way. He traveled across an ocean to get to here.
Hey, Tristan.
Now he's dead.
I'm not here specifically.
Yes, sir.
So, my kitsune is a level 4. So, which one of those 3 feats do I get then?
What do you mean?
Because I'm looking here, and now I have Disguise Self. So, is that just... I'm confused on how it's set up now.
I gotta look at it. I haven't looked at that class or that race since I made it. 1 second.
Oh, that's fair. I don't want to kill the vibe, though. You were talking about...
No, you're fine. I wasn't really talking about... I was kind of at the end of my thought. Let me take a look.
But if I ever get to do another session of this, the next session will probably be mostly RP about, like, you know, dealing with the aftermath of the battle, learning about what the fuck exactly happened, you know, to this place.
My natural 20 bucks.
Well, the natural 20 I'm going to message you. I'm going to message you all about and even, investigation checks and shit. And Tristan, you will get to loot that dude's body and his armor.
Oh, that's fine.
It's a little dinged. It's very bloody.
That's fine. I don't mind the blood.
But
what are we?
It's got dings and it needs refitted badly.
Eli, you should have
breastplate from Magic Missile.
No worries. Eli, you should have at 2nd level. You should have gained minor illusion. At 4th level, you should have gained dancing light and disguise self.
Okay.
That's all.
When do I get either Superior Kitsune Shapeshift, Superior Kitsune Magic, or Vulpine Pounce?
We're gonna have to make that a feature that you can choose. So it would have to be chosen like a normal feature at like level 4.
Oh, that means I won't get my freaking ability score improvement.
Yeah, because there's no way The thing is, if I make that something part of the race, it's just going to be busted. It's going to make the race like have way too many things.
Yeah.
I was trying to design this as much around the other races and balance it with the other races as possible.
Well, do you think any of these things are going to be worth it?
What do you mean, the kitsune stuff? I mean, they can be. It's entirely dependent on the build. You'll have to link me the thing again so I can look at it. I haven't looked at it in forever.
I got it right here.
I can make it tomorrow once I'm done with some yard work. I have to fucking do some more shit out there. Okay.
But here's something awesome. We're gonna do Ryan's campaign.
That'll be fun.
I'm very excited.
I'm getting to the point where I don't want to play my character anymore. I want to make a new one.
Yeah.
I think I want to remake Krell and finally play the Sith Lord I've always wanted to play.
Yeah, I say do it.
You say do it?
I say do it. Kenkus are fun, but I feel like Kenku in a campaign might be a little it'll either be way better because you have like so much more material to go off of, or like it'll get exhausting for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'd have to keep a list of like all the words I've heard and what accent I heard them in, and then I'd have to sit there. I'd be like, I need to form a sentence. I'm gonna make a second character right now. What level were we? 2?
2. Yeah.
What do you think if I were to recreate Krell? What do you think I should start out with? I know Warlock's the main part of Krell, but
yeah, I mean, I would say stick with just Warlock for.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't have enough like shit to make his full build. I think I've crunched the numbers, and the earliest the full build can be online is level 7 or 8.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like with the multi-classing in general, it's just like I feel like it really is a thing for like, you know, you got to be at least level 4, right? You know.
Yeah.
Which I mean, there's also some there's some fun builds, like obviously like a monk druid.
Yeah.
That I could
monk rogue is really fun.
Monk rogue, yeah, that would be good too.
Monk.
That's just that's just a bunch of. I feel like monk rogue might be a little redundant though, just because of the like the you get so many bonus action dashes things. You know what I mean? Where it's like you have to pay points, or because at a certain point, what am I trying to say? Well, because you pay points, key points for the one.
Yeah,
I guess it would be good because then it doesn't. You wouldn't have to pay the key points to dash and stuff like that. Or hide.
The thing I like about it is the expertise on it. You know, like I like skills on characters.
Yeah. That was one of the most fun things about playing Aussie Crud was that it was just skills. I had like 3 or 4 plus 8s.
Let me see. All right.
I think I'm exaggerating.
Do Krell as a different race.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could be fun. I'm trying to think what's charisma based.
Well, tieflings are charisma based, but
aside from tieflings.
There's a few. I know. I think half elves. Yeah, half elves are
fun.
+2 to charisma and +2 to 2 others. Oh, they what's it called? Icewind Dale has started this whole with the release of Icewind Dale. It also marks like a D&D celebration or something. And whenever they released this whole map of Icewind Dale, and you could go to and you could click on it and interact with it on your computer. And there's all these different locations. And they've been slowly adding like puzzles to each of the locations, and they're all previews of stuff in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
Okay.
And they've previewed a spell called Mind Sliver. It's a cantrip. I don't remember everything about it, but it's a psychic damage cantrip, and I think you become aware of the target's location. Howdy. And then they've also added several new familiars as well.
You drive a disorienting spike of psychic energy into the mind of the creature. Intelligence saving throw. That's fun. You don't get a lot of those.
Yeah.
Especially as a player. You get them more if you're like a mind flayer or something like that.
Yeah.
Unless it's successful, target takes 1d6 psychic damage. First time it makes a saving throw before your next turn, you must roll d4. Oh, so it's kind of like a
damaging backwards bless, right?
Kind of, yeah. It's like bless mixed with freaking Ray of Frost.
Yeah.
And instead of slowing you, it does the bless thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Then they've also added a bunch of familiars. They have a frozen gelatinous cube.
As a familiar?
Frozen gelatinous cubeling or something like that. Yeah. They've also there's a really cool bit of lore that they added with Icewind Dale. And apparently now when a gnoll is killed and they're still hungry, they can come back from the grave as a vampire. And they don't have all the vampire weaknesses. They have different ones.
Okay, hold on.
If they hear Celestial, they'll charge it in a rage. If they hear Celestial from two separate sources, then they become restrained because they can't figure out where they need to go. And then they're killed. They do have the sunlight damage and the stake through the heart destroys them, but they're unaffected by water, by flowing water, and they can enter your house regardless of whether or not you invite them inside. I forget what that last one is.
What do you consider how do you consider running a stake through the heart?
Stake through the heart? I think that
it's like
gives. Let me take a gander.
Is there a mechanic for it?
Do it. I think you could. There is a mechanic on it. Let me look at just a regular old vampire.
Because, like, in theory, it's like, okay, so it's like, well, I wanna stab him in the neck. It's like, okay, well, you can't really stab him in the neck in D&D. You can't really go for a death kill right away. Unless you just naturally do a crap ton of damage.
Oh.
This is what it says here. It says, if a piercing weapon made of wood is driven into the vampire's heart while it is incapacitated in its resting place, the vampire is paralyzed until the stake is removed.
Okay, that's a good point. So incapacitate it, and then you can hit it for free, basically.
Yeah. It has to be incapacitated in its resting place, is what it says here. I don't know if it does anything different for regular vampires, like Vampire Spawn. Let me see.
What do you consider? I mean, its resting place, I guess, so in its coffin?
That would be its coffin, yeah. You'd have to find it in its coffin and take it down. Let me see how it is. Okay, with Vampire Spawn, it's the same thing in its resting. If it's while it is incapacitated in its resting place. I won't tell you what Strahd says, but I want to see what his says.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you what it says because it's basically the same thing, but Strahd specifies in his coffin.
Okay.
Yeah. The vampire spawn is destroyed. Okay, so regular vampires and Strahd are paralyzed until the stake is removed. Vampire spawn are destroyed.
Okay, and and all of those include the resting place.
Yeah, all of them include the resting place. So they have to be incapacitated in their resting place.
It's like hypothetically, the guy that we found in the basement of the church, he didn't have a resting place.
He didn't really have a resting place. I don't know. Maybe if you guys had done like staked him in the heart or whatever, I would have like considered that room his resting place or something because he's been there for a year and he's only been a vampire for less than a year. But it might also be considered like the place they died at or were laid to rest at. I don't know. Because the thing with I think I might just with Vampire Spawn in particular, I might just make it like their lair, because they wouldn't necessarily have a immaculate castle or coffin. They would just have a lair where their coffin might be, or where they may like rest in the bed or hide on the roof as a vampire or as a vampire bat or something. It would just be like broad and in their lair where or perhaps, you know what, Vampire Spawn, I would just make it to where if they're incapacitated, you can destroy them with a stake.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Just because they are just, and
they're just kind of pawns.
They're nobodies. Like they're
they're just pawns to the vampire lord. Also, I would add that little bit of flavor. I don't know where else in media it shows up, but I know in Billy and Mandy it shows up. And when they killed the vampire lord that created them, or i.e. the vampire that created them, all of that vampire's creations would just die. I might even include that into my own games.
I like that.
Yeah. The
Warhammer kind of does it that way. If you in Warhammer 2, if you kill a vampire like lord, their army will start to like literally wither away over time.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's easier, like you can just win battles by just targeting their lords, and then just holding.
If you get rid of their lord, a shit ton of units just run out, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like they actively, like without even being in combat, they start losing hit points, and eventually soldiers will just start dropping.
Yeah, like instead of every turn they get healed, every turn they start to lose a little bit.
Yeah,
that could be fun.
Yeah, that would like disable their regeneration, and it would start. They'd start dying slowly.
Yeah, or it's
and then
like
obviously like
hypothetically, if they gain 1d6 every turn, maybe then they lose 1d4 every turn or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a weak or lower die, so it's not like completely crippling to the monster. But
and perhaps if they were to heal a certain amount from their bite, it would like make them immune to the regeneration or degeneration effect or something, you know.
Yeah.
It would just be like this one fought as hard as he could after his master died. He's now free of his master, but he's still a vampire. And he retains his old abilities or something. I don't know. I'd just give him a name or something. I don't fucking know. But so the Knoll vampires are interesting. That thing about the Celestial, that is correct. Pretty much. It says, if it hears words of Celestial spoken, the vampire must try to attack the source of those spoken words on its next turn. If these words come from multiple sources and from opposite directions, the vampire is restrained. Otherwise, it moves to attack what it perceives to be the closest source. So, say you and the other person are in the hallway shouting celestial slurs at this guy, he'll run at the closest one. But if he's in the middle of the hallway and you're on either side, he'll just kind of stop and freak out because they'll be restrained. Then instead of the running water bit, he has repulsed by perfume. It has disadvantage on melee attacks against any creature wearing perfume or carrying an open container of it, which is interesting. But then they still have the stake to the heart and sunlight super or hypersensitivity. And they also added kobold vampires, which just look adorable.
Sick.
Oh my god! Hold on, I'm googling that right now.
Dude, they look adorable.
Is this from the new book you're talking about, Tristan?
This is from Icewind Dale.
Yeah, it just dropped, right?
Yeah, it just dropped like 2 days ago. I bought it.
Oh, the one with the owl on the cover of it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I found out that thing's a god. That owl on the front of it.
That is not an owl. That's like a dragon made out of metal.
Scary, actually. I don't think they're cute at all. I think they're actually kind of scary.
I think they're cute as hell.
They're terrifying.
I think their arms are really long.
Hi there, big kitty. You better not turn my PC off.
Though kobold vampires are affected by the same things as regular vampires.
Don't you
Never ever have I ever fought a kobold.
Really?
Correct.
All right. Well, next time we run my main campaign, I'm gonna throw some kobolds at you.
Can we do your main campaign next session?
Sure.
Me be wanting to play the Zeld.
I gotcha. Tommy wanted to do his session this Wednesday. That's fine. Tommy's is very. If it's like last time, it's going to be very interesting. It's very. He is putting a lot of prep work into it, but it's very interesting. He just has some things set up Last time we started out fighting some flumps, and I was playing a lizard folk, and I was just eating everything. And then he was like, "Okay,
What is this for?"
This is Tommy's game. It's in D&D 5e. Obviously, it runs that rule set, but it was just Tommy's game, and I was eating everything we killed as a fucking lizard folk.
Should I make a character?
It's gonna be this Wednesday, so unless Tommy says no, but
quick brainstorm of what we want to do, y'all, just for team building.
But for Tommy's,
yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be too hardcore. I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna play my lizard folk again.
I'm being kobold.
Team Scaly.
I will go something super healy. Yeah.
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 I'm going to be
some kind.
my lizard folk named Black Axe.
I think maybe tentative dwarf cleric.
Mm-hmm. Ryan.
Yeah.
I was thinking. I'm not 100% certain, but I was thinking of playing a different character for your game.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. We can work that.
Yeah. I could talk to you about him in a little bit, but I know we're trying to start hunters, so I don't want to.
Bro, Ryan.
Yeah.
Caleb liked that tweet I sent on his picture.
Yeah, I saw that. I just saw it.
Who?
That's funny guy.
Who?
Caleb.
He figured out a way to ask questions to God. It's pretty hilarious. I think those are my favorite ones he makes. It's where he just talks. He just randomly walks up on God. He's like, "Oh, Caleb, how'd you get here?"
Yeah, God, when he's sleeping. Caleb, you know what time it is? Sorry, God, it's really important.
Why do boys have nipples?
You know, that is something that I've always wondered.
It's the first thing. It's one of the first things that develops in a womb before you're actually assigned.
Isn't everything like every fetus just start out as a female?
Yeah.
It goes through that process first. I mean, obviously, you're determined male as soon as the sperm meets the egg.
Yeah.
But determined male or female, but
you develop to a certain point, and then it's
first.
Yeah.
Which to me just makes a little bit weird. I feel like a uterus would be far more complex than a fucking penis.
What about the penis is complex?
I said
that's the point. Yeah,
that's the point. I think a uterus would be far more complex than a penis and balls.
Men have no use for nipples. We should get them cut off like circumcisions.
Oh, okay.
Kids, I bet you don't have a belly button.
I bet he doesn't. That means he's Adam.
Look, last time I checked, it's still there. Yup.
Yeah.
There are 67 different kinds of bacteria in the average belly button.
That's
bada bing.
I always clean my belly button out with a Q-tip.
Really?
I have not touched my belly button in 17 years.
What? You heard him.
God, what are we talking about?
How old are you?
Belly buttons and Q-tips, Eli.
What? Who's putting Q-tip in their belly button?
No one.
No one, actually. Now that you mention it.
Tell me what skill is more Sith Lordy. Arcana, Deception, History, Investigation, Nature, or Religion?
Deception.
Yeah, I mean, Deception right off the bat is a gut instinct. Yeah. But I feel like don't sneeze on Arcana. It's pretty good. I feel like.
I think if I pick up a background, I'll try and get Arcana.
And technically, Jedi is a religion. You know what I mean? So it's like there are religion mixed with history mixed with Arcana. Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, I just meant Jedi in the Force sensitive sense.
I got you.
Is there a god in Star Wars?
The Force.
There is 3 gods in Star Wars. 3 confirmed gods in Star Wars canon, but all of them are dead now. It was the brother who is the embodiment of the dark side, the sister who is the embodiment of the light side, and then the father who is the embodiment of like true neutrality.
With the gods who are a non-believer?
Huh?
I'm gonna
who don't believe in anything?
Kanye West is Force sensitive, is that right?
Dude, Kanye West is absolutely Force sensitive.
He's right sensitive
he's
for
battling
sure.
with the dark side for 100%.
He battles with the dark side.
He's got some demons, bro.
So we have to pick up Eldritch Blast. And is there a cantrip that does lightning damage?
Shocking touch.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Thunderclap and that one Ryan said.
Thunderclap does thunder damage, which is like sound damage.
Oh.
Sound or air
Shocking
damage.
grasp
Is there?
Yes, shocking.
Who's listening to Studio One?
Intro music.
Jesus.
What?
I hear your video, son.
No, you don't.
I have Eldritch Blast for the Grasp of Hadar invocation because that will basically be my force pull. I'm trying to think. Maybe Friends could be pretty good to. No, I don't know.
Friends, I like Friends. Friends is fun.
Friends are cool. Friends are nice. I like Friends. Friends are fun.
I think Friends could be really good for like intimidating people. You're my friend, and I'm gonna yell at you.
Yeah, and like quick deception.
Yeah.
Obviously, they know when you're done, but it's like Friends is just real nice because there's no like saving throw or attack roll involved.
Yeah. I mean, like once. I mean, if I necessarily need it, it's a successful intimidation or deception for approximately a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, or not necessarily successful. It's not 100%. It's advantage, but it's more likely. You know how I built Krell, fucking level 6. I had +9 to intimidation. Add that advantage to it. That's silly.
Yeah, I mean, Rogue may not hurt then. You might have convinced me on doing that multi-class for this, since you just have such a specific build in mind too.
Yeah,
and it's gonna, and the expertise is just gonna push you over the edge.
Yeah,
in a nice way.
Well, that's how I got the intimidation to +9 in your game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the only way to do it.
Okay, so Blade Ward is one of the useless ones. You heard me.
It has nothing to do with that. I think I just discovered how to do something I was excited about. I'm sorry.
I saw something that said that Vicious Mockery was a worthless cantrip too, and I was like, dude, that one kind of goes hard, TBH.
Yeah, I don't think it. I think that it's a little weak to be the Bard signature spell. You know, like Warlocks have Eldritch Blast. That's huge, but Vicious Mock. I feel like Vicious Mockery is a little weak.
Bards do not have Eldritch Blast.
I know. I said Warlocks have Eldritch Blast.
Oh, dude, I'd be going hand with Psychic Power though. Bards, if you touch me, I will actually destroy your worthless life.
Chill touch.
The bug's got a fucking 20 by 15 room to fly around in. He chooses the fucking 4 square feet that I'm in. I will kick its ass.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a salad from my work, and they put anchovies in it.
How dare they?
I picked them out, but the salad's tainted by the taste of anchovy.
Yeah, how fucking dare they? What the hell?
So fucking mad.
I've had anchovies.
Dude, I'd send it back.
It wasn't bad. It was just too much. You know.
I'm not enjoying it.
I didn't hate the flavor of anchovy. It's just the flavor of anchovy was too much.
The thing is like when you have anchovy, immediately after you have to go and brush your teeth. Otherwise, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Mage Hand I'll get from whenever I become an arcane trickster. This build relies on 4 classes to multi-class into, so don't judge me.
Are the Jedi evil though?
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
It's an Anakin Skywalker quote.
Yes.
I mean, Kristen's favorites.
All right, let me lose real quick. I'll be right back.
Who's Anakin Skywalker?
That's Darth Vader when he is not wearing a mask before he gets old and falls in the lava.
The guy who's weak to stand and
pop off.
I hate you.
You're my brother.
I loved you.
I loved you.
Obi-Wan leaves him to scream and burn in the lava.
Should have killed him.
Like, honestly, he should have. He, according to
a lot of effort.
Yeah, dude, they wouldn't have had to made like 5 more movies. Please.
According to the books, he believed that if he were to kill Anakin there, that would have been his first step to the dark side.
That's a good point, though. I mean, like, it seems to be quite the slippery slope.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to have 4 more stories so Luke could be making out with his sister. You know what I mean?
I know. And
one time. It happened one time.
One time that happened.
And they almost froze to death. He almost froze to death.
That does not justify it. It is absolutely not necessary for the story.
Listen. If you saw, what's his name? Mark. I slipped my mind now.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch?
If you see Marky Mark inside of a tank wearing a diaper, you're going to want to kiss him too, Eli.
Okay, I would kiss Marky Markies.
I'm sorry, what?
Isn't that Matt Damon or something?
Marky Mark is Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, there we go. Close enough. All their names mean the same to me.
Matt Damon.
They literally mean the same thing in my brain. Both have the same neural pathways.
Damon.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing I need to pick 2 spells. Witch Bolt is unlimited power. I need that.
Yes.
Now I need to choose between Shield, Hex, Cause Fear, Armor of Agathes, and Wrathful Smite.
Fear's also good.
Okay, I ain't finding a gift for this.
There, I'm back again.
How far the Bob the Schmurder's heads?
I feel like I do not need Wrathful. I don't need Fear if I have Wrathful Smite.
Is Bobby Schmurda free yet?
Oh no.
No, he doesn't actually get out until like December.
No, I thought he did get out.
No, there was getting out early on like Good Behavior, but that never came to truly be. His actual date's like December. So we gonna get the Schmurderer as a Christmas present.
Dude, Bobby Schmurda's a political prisoner. Free my man.
Free the Schmurderer.
There you go. That's for you, Eli. That's for you, Eli.
Whoa.
Tell me you don't want to kiss that.
What in God's name is that?
That's Luke Skywalker in a diaper.
Why?
I'm sorry, what? I need to see this.
That's Luke Skywalker in a diaper 5 minutes before he kisses his sister. Am I the only one who's seen this?
I forgot about it. Yeah, it's one of those scenes that you forget about.
Suppress.
I'll kiss his gut.
I like that they recreated that scene, but with Vader in Rogue One.
Oh, he pled guilty. Oh my god.
I'm just getting the worst Physics 1 flashback with this fucking picture of Bobby Schmurder's hat travel. My goodness.
How far the Bobby Schmurder's hat?
Dude, if he doesn't come out of prison and release a song called The Schmurderer, I'm gonna lose my mind.
The Schmurdering?
The Schmurdering.
Bobby Schmurder? You know, the Schmurderer?
Mitch caught a body about a week ago.
No, we tweaking though?
Yeah, you tweaking, ho.
It's on the fucking beat of that song. You know what?
Yeah, it goes kind of hard.
You know what? Jamie, pull that up.
Jeremy, that's copyright. You're not allowed to play that.
Wait, Wrathful Smite doesn't scale?
Then I'm probably going to get rid of Wrathful Smite on my guy.
Never ever have I ever. Wrathful Smite.
It doesn't scale. It does.
Hold on. Yeah?
Huh?
Like, you would think it would scale because it's a warlock. It's the warlock equivalent of the Paladin Smite, you know?
Maybe just because it's a bonus action? I don't know.
I mean, the Paladins is a bonus action.
God, this song goes so hard.
And you would think that would scale, especially because, like, warlock spell slots scale.
Or maybe it's... Oh, I see what you're saying.
What's a good spell then to increase your damage output on your blade then?
I mean, as a warlock, I think you're kind of locked into Wrathful Smite or Hex. I think Hex would probably be better, but I think Hex is
a bonus action.
Yeah,
it is. Can I switch that out on Dezeld?
Who's Bobby Schmurda?
I think so. Yeah, you can switch it out.
Cool.
Is he
I don't think I've used blinding smite, branding smite since.
Actually, hold on. Hex does not increase your damage, but it is more useful.
It's a bonus action, though, right?
Yeah, it is a bonus action. The way that scales is
So first off, whenever you cast Hex on something, it imposes disadvantage on ability checks made of the chosen ability. You choose an ability that has disadvantage. If the target hits 0, you can use a bonus action on subsequent turns to choose a new curse target. And if you use a 3rd or 4th spell slot, you can maintain concentration on this for up to 8 hours. And if you use a 5th or higher, you can maintain concentration for up to 24 hours. And every time you attack the cursed target, you deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's only at a 5th
It is concentration. However, the thing is Wrathful Smite, it is concentration, but it's only your next attack. But it does psychic damage. So the trade-off
does not do psychic damage.
Yes, it does.
Radiant.
I'm reading it right now.
Branding Smite?
Wrathful Smite.
Oh, Wrathful. Does Wrathful scale?
No, Wrathful does not scale.
So Wrathful and Branding do not scale.
I don't know about Branding. Branding might be like the spell, like your feature.
Was he with 6ix9ine or was he separate?
Oh, so Branding Smite.
I think just for the one song.
Gets 1 more d6 for every slot above 2.
Okay, so you get Branding Smite is Branding Smite a feature?
No, Branding Smite is a spell.
It's a spell? What level do you get? It's a what level?
2nd level. Well, mine is.
Oh, no wonder I don't see it. Okay. What's the difference? With Branding Smite, you know their location?
No. They just take radiant damage and then if you hit it while it's invisible, it becomes visible.
Oh, okay.
And then that target sheds dim light in a 5-foot radius and can't become invisible until the spell ends.
Okay, yeah. So it's good to keep an eye on a target then.
Yeah.
Branding Smite does increase in damage. It does scale. So Branding Smite's just a better version of Wrathful Smite.
Yeah, well, Branding Smite, you know what I mean? Like right now it's 2d6 for me, but next level it's going to become 3d6.
3d6.
And that's not terrible. And it's radiant, so it might smoke some undead.
Another thing, the thing that makes Wrathful Smite nice is it is like it's like a mixture of Branding Smite and Cause Fear. Because Wrathful Smite, it only increases your damage by 1d6 psychic, but they have to make a saving throw, otherwise they become frightened until the spell ends, which has concentration up to a minute. And there's no... Oh, as an action, the creature can attempt to break, or can attempt to steal its resolve and end the spell. But...
Branding Smite's not as bad as I thought. The reason why I never used Branding Smite is because I was afraid that I would miss on the attack I applied when I apply on my weapon. But it's concentration, so even if I miss and I'm still concentrating, I can just, use it on my next attack.
Well, it says the next time you hit a creature with the attack before the spell ends. So if you miss, it's no big deal. But if someone attacks you before you hit someone, then you have to make the concentration check and you could lose.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same thing with Wrathful Smite and I think Hex. Hex is slightly different, but Hex is still concentration. Because Hex isn't on your weapon. Hex is better for boss fights, where Wrathful Smite and Branding Smite are better for fighting like one singular target. Does Branding Smite... Yeah. They're better for fighting a single target. Or like, not a single target, but like fighting a guy. Like somewhere in the battle. But Hex, I think, is better for fighting one big dude. And also Hex is kind of like a support-esque spell mixed with a damaging spell. But the damage never increases. Hello?
Hello?
D&D time.
God? Is that you? It's me, Margaret.
Hello? What?
You heard me.
I thought your name was Tristan.
No, it's Margaret. Right now it is.
Oh?
Yes. Oh, one of the other officers from my Star Wars guild joined this Discord. They'll play Among Us with us sometime.
Atreides?
Yeah, they keep seeing me online. They were like, I didn't know you played Among Us. And I was like, what, dude? You play it too? And he was like, yeah. Can I join? I was like, yeah. He's a pretty cool dude.
That's cool.
Yeah.
10 people's a lot of people to have in a Discord chat. But I like it because it makes it a lot more like random, and there's not as much like metagaming.
I think we should. I think if we have that many people, we should definitely play with push to talk, though, if you can.
No,
because otherwise I feel like people start yelling at one another.
No, I don't wanna.
And I'm fine with people yelling at each other, but like, you know, it's just hard whenever you hear fucking dog barking in the background and you're trying to talk about who killed Bobby.
Bobby Schmurda.
Bobby Schmurda.
Jesus, where are you?
Bobby. I'm here. Where are you?
Can you hear my piano?
Maybe. No.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I hear the music going took 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 took.
Bobby.
Baba Booby.
Baba Boobies.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys, so there's this thing I was playing, and I just wanted to get your opinion on it real quick.
What's up?
I don't know if you can hear it, or if you have to watch the stream.
Oh, you showing him?
No. Just one
Okay.
little thing. Yeah. Just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, so it's this chord progression here.
To the head of the column.
Does that sound too much like the Avengers theme?
No.
It doesn't.
Sounds like something else. I've heard that somewhere, but I don't know where.
Play it again.
What do I get Jason vibes from it?
Play it again.
Sounds like a Pokemon theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not getting Pokemon theme. I can see where you're getting Avengers from, but
as long as it's independent enough where you're not like, yeah, that's the Avengers, then we're good.
yeah, you know, I could see where you're seeing it from, but I don't think it actually is too close. I don't see Pokemon.
It's
So
not.
it's something else, you know.
I'm gonna make noises with my mouth to try and mimic it, and I'll tell you when it's about to happen. It's the bum 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 bum. Wait, fuck. I gotta find it. I can find it and I'll play it to rhythm.
Just by
because after you get through, after it's done doing the bum bum bum. Wait, fuck. I gotta find it. I think it's the gold versus red theme. It's like after the beginning of it.
I agree with that part. It kind of sounds like a Ghost Elite 4 in Gen 5.
Well,
it's oddly specific, but
well,
yeah,
but it doesn't sound similar enough to anything. You're good, Jesus.
Okay, good.
I just want to listen to this now.
Well, I appreciate you guys' help because I was sitting there like, man, I don't know, but so we're good.
It helps that the Avengers is like an orchestra.
Yeah, true.
With and percussion, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, I want to talk to you about my character here in a minute.
Okay.
Are you still wanting to do like little mini sessions with everybody before we do it?
Yeah, because that way we can all get accustomed to Foundry, and it helps me kind of practice being a DM a little bit, and will get me ready for the first session.
Do you want to do it everybody individually, or do you want to do like pairs, or what do you want to do? How are you thinking of doing it?
Depends on the characters. So Eli and Hunter will go as a pair because their characters are together.
Yeah.
But for other characters who are by themselves, I'll just do it individually.
Yeah, anytime you want to do it this week.
Yeah.
Fairly open.
Well, I still need to. I'll try tomorrow and work more. I think.
Yeah, I gotta look up
maps are
Goblin.
gonna take the most time.
Gotta look up Goblin stuff.
I mean, I already have like the. I already know what's gonna happen for the first session, and the following like plot lines you can explore.
So, Eli, I pretty much built the superior Kitsune magic into the class, but I can expand upon it as a. Well, no, I didn't build it into the class, but I built the. I buffed the Kitsune magic, so it's like an in between of superior Kitsune magic and regular. But I can make a buffed version of it for a feature that's exclusive to Kitsunes.
I'm just trying to figure out what I would get then from.
Which one are you most looking forward to? The shapeshift, the magic, or the pounce?
Well, see, I can't get Vulpine Pounce without
the Kitsune shapeshift.
Yeah.
Okay, so it would perhaps. I mean, I could probably just put Vulpine Pounce into the shapeshift feature,
Just make it one feature.
Then yeah, that would make it worth to me than getting the ability score improvement.
Okay.
Which means now I can turn into a fox.
Yeah. No, you always were able to turn into a fox. It was always on there. That was.
I shouldn't have been able to.
As an action, you can assume the appearance. Oh wait. Yeah, you weren't able to turn into a fox. Wait.
I can assume I can be a human.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Human.
But human stinks.
Oh, by the way, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I finally started working on that one that Kane has.
Oh yeah.
Dawning.
Ooh. And, is it gonna dawn on Kane that what the plot is?
Perhaps, but it's allowing me, and I'm started like in working in tandem with it. I'm actually like putting down an actual comprehensive history of the world finally.
Ooh, nice.
Rather than just saying like,
it's giving you the inspiration.
Yeah,
Eli.
And it's helping me with my rework of the BP.
Ooh, I like it.
Eli, for the superior Kitsune shapeshift, do you just want the ability to turn into a fox?
I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think because I don't really want to.
You do want the pounce, obviously.
But you're already a fox.
Well, I'm a fox
but you can turn into like a literal fox.
Oh,
yeah,
it's kind of quirky.
They added the fox statistics in the newest book.
Oh, cool. So then I just use that then. Yeah.
Yeah, rather than where it says use cat statistics. And the only reason I don't want to do the disguise as any other human you could see is because that takes away from the shapeshifter or the changeling, you know.
What happened?
There's a part in here where it says you can disguise as another human you could see, so like you can turn into any human you can see. I feel like that just takes away from the changeling.
Sure.
You know. So I didn't want to do that part, but I'm fine with doing the fox part and pairing it with the Vulpine bounce. I'll probably just call it Vulpine form.
Vulpine, yeah. I'm just trying to think like if it's even worth it. Like I'm concerned about losing my charisma buff because I mean I don't know. What do you think? Because I also need some like other feats too. Like I'll probably need the Warcaster feat.
Well,
so I can cast spells as a fox.
I was thinking with the superior Kitsune shapeshift, you could either depending on the route we were going to go, I was either going to give it a +1 to your charisma or +1 to your dex. But I'm thinking the route we are going, it would be a +1 to your dex because a fox is more dexterous than charismatic, like physical fox form, you know.
That was a good point.
Or we could go with intelligence to go off of like the cunning nature of a fox, the tricksterish nature.
Well, I don't have anything that would use intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. And then I guess when I'm taking superior Kitsune magic, it'd give me a +1 to charisma.
This is basically if you look in
if you wanted
general,
to do that, yeah.
This is basically what it looked like when Jarman teleported.
Okay, that makes sense. That's what I was thinking of when you were describing it. Like he was like going in on himself.
What is Green Flame Blade?
Green Flame Blade is a weird spell. It's kind of... Let me look it up. I haven't looked at it in so long.
It's not bad. It's one of those ones that I always like dance around, and I'm like, yeah, I'll pick that one. And I'm like, well, I could do this other thing instead. And it's like, in theory, it works really well, but I think in practice it may not be the best.
I don't even have access to the spell because it's in the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, and it's the one book that nobody bought.
I believe it's the one where you hit a target, and then if there's another target within 5 feet of you, fire shoots off of that and hits that other target.
But it has to be a melee weapon, or melee weapon attack, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a melee weapon attack, yeah.
And Eli's primarily a caster, so that would be kind of useless.
Until I take some rogue, but until then.
Yeah. I refuse to buy Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide.
It's
going to be... Really?
I mean, just in terms of, like, what is it that's good about it? I got some stuff out of it for... I think maybe the Feral Tiefling is in there. The variant Feral Tiefling is in there or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of, like... It's good for, like... I mean, like, I don't know anything about the, like, content of, like, the actual, like, adventures and stuff.
Yeah.
I just mean, like, the actual, like, source book
Well,
things.
it's not.
on
I
D&D
don't think
Beyond.
there's large adventures. There's a few one shots in it, but
Oh, maybe.
for the most part, it's just like a description of the Sword Coast.
Yeah.
Other than the few things that it adds.
I believe that Ozzy Crud's Faceless was in there, I think. Or maybe that's Acquisitions Incorporated, I don't remember. But there was something that I was really hype about it for.
Yeah.
What's
it called?
The Tiefling.
I think all the more obscure like pieces of customization are going that were printed in like this book and the ones printed in the Guild's Guide to Ravnica and Theros, all that stuff, I think is all being reprinted in Tasha's. So I'm just not even going to buy this book at all. They have said everything in Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide is going to be reprinted in Tasha's, other than the adventures. Character options.
So for Tommy's game, I am sort of considering playing the homebrew 5e race Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be kind of fun.
It could be interesting.
Oh wait, Eli.
Yeah.
Sorry, actually, Richard, finish what you're saying. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. No, I was just going to talk about the subclasses. No, you're
fine. If we're gonna play that game, do you want to do our plan?
What game?
Tommy's.
Sure, we can do our plan. I'd be down.
The plan.
Secret plan. No.
Hey, Tristan.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my only issue with having more decks is because I guess in order to get a proficiency in a like dex weapon like a rapier, I would need to take like rogue or something. But since I have to take another thing of sorcerer in order to get the feat, I don't know what to do then.
All right, gents, I'm going to bed.
What do you mean?
All right, sleepyhead.
Yeah.
Oh, to get the feat to get the shapeshift?
Indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, weren't you going to take level 4 in sorcerer anyway?
Well, yes, but that would mean that I can't take rogue, which means that I'm not proficient in a rapier.
Oh.
So can a Kitsune have proficiency in dex weapons, or?
I don't know if it carries over anyway. I think when I've made characters in the past and like played around with multi-classing, I don't think that it's just the skill proficiency.
Rogues. Whenever you subclass into a rogue, you gain the weapon proficiency.
I was thinking about the skill proficiencies, not the weapon proficiencies.
In rogues, you get 1 skill proficiency. Almost every other class, you get none, other than Bard.
I think it ups it. Yeah, it ups it to the max number that you can get.
Yeah.
Because if you go from one that gives 3 and you go to something that gets 2 or 3, obviously it's not going to go up. But if you go from something that's like a 2 or a 3 into something that has 4, like the rogue does,
yeah,
I think if you multi-class in Bard, you might get the same effect.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know why they would. I don't know why they would have proficiency with dex weapons.
Well, they are dexterous creatures.
Yeah.
But if that's the, I get what you're saying, but like, if that's the case, then like, there's nothing I could do. I would just be like myself, kind of worthless.
I don't know. I mean, that's up to.
I think you should get that. I mean, I'm all about the extra ability score improvement.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with Nico, I mean, like you get another, you'd go up to a +5 for your charisma, right?
Get Vulpine pounds.
Yeah, I would go to a plus. No, I would just be at 18 if that was the case.
So you're sitting at 16 right now. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your highest stat? Dex?
No. If I wasn't gonna pump charisma,
currently,
Dex
at level 3, what's your highest stat?
Dex and charisma are both at 16.
Okay. They're tied. Okay. That's interesting. That was kind of the spot I was at with Ozzy. Was that he didn't really have a super stat.
Yeah. I mean, my stats aren't terrible. I mean, my strength is 7, Dex is 16, Con is 14, Intelligence is 12, Wisdom is 10, and Charisma would be 16.
Yeah, that Con 14 is real nice.
Yeah, because I feel like if not, Nico would be super squish. but like, I don't know. It would just suck because then Nico would be like pretty worthless. I mean, he doesn't have too much damage output now. If he was to be able to use a rapier, then it'd be pretty cool. But like, if he can't, then like, I don't know what I would end up doing.
What spells does Nico have?
Right now, if he's level 4, he got Dancing Light, Firebolt, Frostbite, Guidance, Minor Illusion, Thaumaturgy, Cure Wounds, Magic Armor, Magic Missile, or Mage Armor, Mirror Image, and then Disguise Self. And I guess that's what turned him into a fox. I'm not really sure. I don't know what the Disguise Self does.
No, you I think that's what it as a action somewhere. You're supposed to at least.
Oh, like, that's what would turn me into a human, I guess.
Yeah, your regular one just turns you into another human. I don't know where it is, but
let me look at feats real quick and something clever. What kind of armor do you have? No armor? Some armor?
No armor. My armor class is 13.
What's your wisdom?
10. It's cool though. He's got a disengage action.
Action or bonus action?
Huh?
Action or bonus action? Or disengage?
I don't even know. It says actions in combat.
Everyone has everyone has a disengage action.
Yeah.
Oh. So I thought disengage makes it to where people can't get opportunity of attack.
Yeah,
that's what
everyone can do that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can spend your action to you can spend your action to dodge, disengage, hide, all those things.
Rogues can do that as a bonus action.
Oh.
At level 2.
Yeah, level 2.
I see.
What was I looking at? I was going.
All right, I live and die by the mobile feat. Nico might have a little bit of fun with the mobile feat because that's the thing. You don't get the opportunity attacks just so long as you attack the target, and then your movement speed goes up by 10. That's always fun. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying it's always fun.
You don't get an opportunity attack?
They don't take it on you.
Oh,
the guru can.
Well, I mean, that would be how many? I mean, like, it doesn't even seem like you can get feats that often. So, like, there's so many feats.
If you're a fighter, you can get a shit ton.
If what?
If you're a fighter, you get a shit ton. Like you get, I think, like 8 or 9 by level 20. Where every other class gets 5.
Fighter. So, Lolly, she got the ability score improvement or the feat at level 4. She also got it at level 6. I took the ability score improvement both times, but yeah.
Yeah, fighters don't get much. The thing is, fighters get a lot of their abilities from the
feats.
From their subclass, and then almost everything else they get is
except for the Arcane Archer
improvements, and except for Arcane Archer.
For some reason.
Well, same with Same with Eldritch Knights. Like they just get spells once in a while. It just feels like more with an Eldritch Knight, but you then look at all
spells. You get spells every few levels with the Eldritch Knight. You don't get anything with the Arcane Archer. Is that I just leveled up 3 times and I didn't get a single thing from being an Arcane Archer.
I thought you get something at level 5.
Nope.
Are you sure? I'm gonna double check that because I thought it was something at 3rd and 5th level. You get something.
No, it might be for being a fighter, but not for being a.
No, 7th level is when you get your next shit.
Yeah, and it's just an extra
shot, magic arrow, and arcane shot. 3 more options.
Yeah, but it's just you get another option for it, and you don't actually go up with the thing. Me and Tanner were talking about it. Arcane Archer is not the greatest. I'm having a good time, but it's not the greatest. But ability score improvements is really what is driving me with that one. I quite like it.
Yeah.
I think my Kitsune was supposed to be a bard and not a sorcerer.
Oh, yeah.
Might have been.
I mean, as a sorcerer, I have Warcaster, and it's really nice. But I also run primarily on concentration. If you want to do, I'm like trying to look at you, and it's like yours has a lot more like combat stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which is tricky with that low charisma. I mean, might want to just get the charisma up to 4. The more I look at these feats, Skulker is a really fun feat. You can try to hide when you're lightly obscured from a creature from which you are hiding. When you're hidden from a creature and you miss it with a ranged weapon attack, making the attack doesn't reveal your position. Dim light doesn't impose disadvantage on your perception checks relying on sight.
Hey,
I don't actually know
Ryan,
what your. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Do you have dark vision?
do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe not.
Should we go into another chat to talk about my new character or no?
Sure, if
Are
you
you
feel like
cool?
it.
All right. I mean, I'm cool with them knowing, but I mean, like, it's up
Yeah,
to you.
if you're fine with them knowing, then yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, my alignment's evil.
Oh.
I should just
Nice.
get that out there.
Okay.
I'm not going to be actively attacking my allies. I am straight up probably just a Sith Lord. My personality trait is I find satisfaction in hard-fought battles, though I'm keen to determine the difference between that and unbeatable odds. My ideals are power. I will sacrifice everything or anything if it means attaining my goals. Bonds. The only thing that matters is an individual's usefulness to me. If they do not serve to challenge me or further my ends, then I will leave them behind. And flaws. I am full of myself and love a challenge. Frequently, I advert from killing powerful adversaries and hope that they may seek revenge, although I will never admit it. So, I mean, you guys don't meta-knowledge this, but if I'm the one sent to go kill a guy, I'm probably not going to. Probably going to let them get back up and fight me later. Because secretly, I want them to throw away all their morals and try fighting me again at another date.
How do you feel about the actor feat, Eli?
The what?
Actor feat?
What is that?
Increase your charisma by 1, so it won't actually affect you this time, but eventually you might be able to, more easily increase your charisma at a dex boost or a charisma boost. You have advantage on charisma, deception, and charisma performance checks when trying to pass yourself off as a different person. You can mimic the speech of other person and makes or sounds by other creatures. It's basically like it's a really good in combination with a disguised self. I mean, but like I said, there's not a whole lot of good feats that I'm seeing.
Well, if I get Kitsune Magic, then Tristan already said it would just give me a +1 to that. So, I mean, if I take that, it's not too bad. Can bards get level 9 spells?
I think so.
No. Bards don't go higher than 3.
Oh, then
Wait,
it's
seriously?
totally fine that I'm a sorcerer then.
I believe that bards function primarily on low-level spells, but you get a lot of low-level spells.
I think that's why I picked sorcerer
and
then.
you get a lot of spell slots, too. It was a bard. You just don't get very high-level spells.
No, they get 9th level spells.
No, never mind.
Then I don't know what I'm talking about.
I was like, wait, what?
Maybe it was just the subclass I did? I don't know.
I think all casters other than... I believe all casters other than warlocks get 9th level spells eventually. Warlocks only get 5th levels.
No, that sucks then. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Nico then. TBH.
Oh, I guess you do, huh? Weird. Maybe I just didn't go higher than a certain level?
Might have been that.
I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, how many games do you get to that are 17th level?
The dream.
It is a dream.
The dream versus a dream.
What Echo or Eldritch Knight gets to? Eldritch Knight gets to 4th level. That's because, though, they're a subclass. A subclass caster.
Yeah.
What is Way of the 4 Elements? Don't they cast spells? No, they don't necessarily cast spells.
I don't know. I don't even know when the next time I'm going to play Nico, though, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's a great point.
But yeah, Krell's neutral evil.
Alright, I'll have to figure something out for you then.
What's the race?
Human variant.
The feet. Oh, did you say that already?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was for Ren.
What's his class?
I am 1st level fighter, 2nd level warlock.
Okay.
Like one level of each. One level of each.
Who would be your patron?
Hexblades, they just are kind of bound to a patron from the Shadowfell that lives inside their weapon.
Okay, so
anything really. It's very vague.
Based upon what you know about my world, where would you like to be from?
I would like to be from maybe the mainland.
Okay, so the Human Kingdom.
Yeah, the Human Kingdom.
Okay, you have several options. The three biggest. Go ahead.
How long ago did the whole no magic ban or the magic ban go on?
9 years ago.
9 years ago?
From the day the campaign starts. Yep.
So perhaps my character's just like, perhaps like he is just pissed about the fact that he can't cast spells, and he just sold his soul to this weapon that lets him cast spells.
Mm-hmm. We could say you're part of an underground cult. That's like kind of where you came from.
Yeah. My goal would probably be to just, obviously my goal is to attain power, but my goal is to destroy that system.
Okay.
That system that's oppressing me from casting magic. However, my character doesn't have morals in it. He will.
Yeah, he just wants it for that sole reason only.
Yeah, he wants power for power's sake.
Okay, this will actually work really well. All right.
Yeah.
The three biggest cities from the area are Varon, Troit, and Ederith.
I believe we're
Varon going to be
Varon, right?
Yeah, Varon's going to be the starting city. It's more of a, well, I guess Varon and Troit are like port cities, whereas Ederith is like a capital.
Okay.
So,
is there? So there's capital cities. Is there any towns like some?
So
like
there's capital. There are.
Okay.
Holy moly!
I heard that too. That was weird.
What was that?
I don't know.
That scared me.
I turned into a booming. I cast thaumaturgy.
That was you.
You did.
I don't know what happened, but
I think it was me. I took my AirPod out and then I put it back in, and it like disconnected and reconnected. I don't know if that was me.
Dude, my voice had thaumaturgy cast on it.
Oh, probably not me then.
I couldn't even figure out whose voice it was.
I heard mine. It was very quick. This is exactly what I said. Maybe I cut out while that happened, but
it could have just been like my sound feeding back into all your sounds or something.
Perhaps. But what was I saying? Perhaps
small
I'm
towns.
from a town. I'm from a town nearby Varon.
Yep, we can. Let me pull the map up. I already say it. You know what? Export it. Lucky for you, I made a bunch of little towns.
Ryan, your vibes were off at Applebee's.
No, they weren't. Alright. Alright, here it is. So you can kind of see all the cities that kind of linger around.
What's that one? Leaside. Is it Leaside? Leasod? Leaslow? I can't read it.
Leaside, yeah, you're right. Leaside.
Can I be from Leaside?
Yeah, you sure can. Okay. I think I actually started.
Pav sounds cooler. Can I be from Pav?
Pav, yeah.
All right, I'll be from Pav.
Do I win the prize for longest? Do I win the prize for longest journey? Coming from Carrera into.
Yeah, you do. You do. Yeah. You get a point of inspiration.
Goblin Squad.
Okay. What was the other question you had? I know that you had a bunch of them, like 5 or something.
Oh, those questions. Yeah, we can go through this. Let me pull it up. All right, so we got the
my old character was much more wholesome than this guy.
Yeah.
But go on.
So
Captain Crow.
We know where your character is born now. He's born in Pav. Number 2, who are your parents, and are they still alive?
Nobodies. They were nobodies. I'm thinking my character could. I think my character killed them.
Okay.
That's the immediate reaction I got to that question. Was nobodies that he killed.
Damn, son.
They were both tieflings?
No. I'm a human.
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna
You're
have
still
a hard time.
Old Crow.
I'm gonna have a hard time transitioning that, yeah.
You're fine. Old Crow was a lot funnier. Captain Crow. Okay. What was the next question?
Number 3. What was your character doing before their adventuring life?
I was training to become a soldier.
Okay.
Then no, I was more of hired muscle. Then one of my because my background's criminal. One of my clients had me pick up this cursed blade or what have you, and that was my first contact with my patron.
Okay.
And then I turned on my client.
All right, cool. So you would definitely have worked in like an underground black market type deal. Because you wouldn't find magic items any other way.
Gotcha. What was it? What did I... Occupancy. Hired muscle. Even though I'm not too strong. Okay. Next one.
All right. Why did your character leave behind your previous life?
Pursuit of power.
Okay.
Reason for...
Do we know what level Tommy wants to do his thing at?
I do not remember. I think it was like level 4 or 5. I don't remember though. Reason for adventure. Pursuit of power. Okay. Next question.
Number 5. Why did your character leave, or what did your character leave behind?
In his mind, nothing.
Okay. So no like friends or family from Pav?
I'm thinking the only people he maybe have left behind were old contacts. Like, that's the only thing he would see as. But those people he could still see in the future and, like, work with them. Though he doesn't... Partners. His family, it means nothing to him.
Okay.
Yeah. His partners don't even really mean anything to him. It's whether or not they can benefit him.
Okay. Last but not least, what does your character want? I think we already know this one.
Yeah, criminal or power.
Will you post those questions in the chat, or either that or DM it to me?
Yeah.
Just so I have it, so I can think about those too.
Yes, absolutely.
This character, I can see me getting in a fight with someone, though I will not. I'll try not to antagonize it. My character would probably antagonize it, but he's not going to throw the first blow.
Kib's just going to fly and throw rocks at your head.
All right. I'll pull you down out of the sky with Eldritch Blast.
Bro, I can't even argue with that. Eldritch Blast do be doing that.
Eldritch Blast is my force pull. Actually, and this was something else I wanted to go over with you, Ryan. It's entirely flavor. So, when I chose my feat and Slave of the Blade, the special version of that, what's it called? Of that one feature we were talking about earlier, I picked up Menacing Attack just because I'm Sith Lord, and then I picked up Sweeping Attack. However, if we could flavor Pushing Attack this way, I would pick Pushing Attack instead. So Pushing Attack, it says I can add the superiority dice, yada yada yada. If it's large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. On a fail, you push the target 15 feet away from you.
Okay.
I was thinking that instead of like me just pushing them 15 feet away with my weapon, which would be kind of ridiculously impressive, could I use a harmless Eldritch Blast to push them away? Obviously,
yeah, we could say it's like a pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because I don't necessarily want to be like, it's the Force, but it's also like...
All you have to do is when you go to attack, just mention it, and I'll describe it for you that way.
Okay.
God, yeah, fucking make the city map, man. I did the fucking inconvenience of making it a big city. Oh well. I gotta do it. Hey, Eli. Smelly boy.
Ryan, there's one more thing. Can I pull you to a separate chat for just a second?
Sure.
Cool.
I have no idea what I want to do for Tommy's game.
Yeah, I got no fucking clue. I do want to be playing Dizeldo.
Yeah, for sure. I'm ready to get back into that game. That's the one I feel like I'm the most invested in too.
Yeah. I feel like he doesn't really know where he wants to take it.
Which is fair. But I'm looking at maybe Warlock for Tommy's game. But like...
I wish we knew what level so I could go ahead and start making my character. Because I think I know what I'm going to make. I've already told the other guys so I can tell you. So I'm going to pick a kobold.
Oh, that's nice.
But Well, I'm gonna take whatever lets me take the night background, and I know you get 3 provisioners, but I'm just gonna take 2 provisioners, and we're all gonna be on top of each other's shoulders, and we're gonna wear a really long trench coat, and I'm gonna wear a hat, and we're just gonna walk around. And then if we ever get in combat, I'm just gonna throw flash powder on the ground, so there's like this brief second where no one can see, and then my 2 provisioners just run away.
Yeah.
And then I'm just there.
That's awesome.
Now just 2 feet tall instead of 6 feet tall.
Yeah, because I mean, you can just pick the night background. It's just like, obviously you want it to like sync up, so it almost needs to be like and it's tricky because there's not like, like lore wise, there's really not like knights that are kobolds, because those are like obviously like, almost more like, goblins and creatures and like that. Like there's not a goblin knight or anything like that,
Yeah, you are right.
So it's like you kind of almost got to do like a fighter or a barbarian and like even then the fighter would line up with the thing. That's tricky, but I like the idea of like the kobold and the stacking on top of each other and the I mean, well, here's the thing too, is you could do a custom background, because I mean technically Guru Ken, that's what he has, is the feature that I picked, because on D&D Beyond you make the title, you describe it, and then you pick a feature from the existing features.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one I picked, was the night. That's why those girls came up and was like, oh, Guru Ken and all that. So it's like you can like design your own background, however you want to call it. So like maybe call the background Pack Tactics, or Pack, like something like Pack.
Brothers of the Pact.
Brothers of the Pack. Not even Pact. Pack. Pack. Brothers of the Pack. I like that. And it's like you were one of 3, 2 of them that are too scared to fight. I like that. That's really good.
Yeah, I like
Brothers
that.
of the Pack. That's really good. So then that way you could do anything you wanted to. You could be...
I don't even know what's good for a kobold, though.
That's a great question. We're going to find out. Reese, do I even have kobold? I don't even think I have it. Alright, we're going to Google it.
Bro, these fucking night shifts gives me heartburn. I hate it so much. I'm just eating shitty food and drinking shitty sugary drinks and being up super late.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is sleep. It like messes with you.
Stomach's just like, dude, when are we gonna like calm down so we can start like taking care of the body? And be like, I don't know.
Goliaths, kobolds, Kenku. We're getting close.
Are you just looking up the stats?
Kobold. I'm looking for kobolds, yeah.
Let me look it up. Because I have kobolds already. Because my character in Ryan's campaign is a kobold.
That's excellent. I can do that. That's easier.
His name's Kib. I made Kib like literally 2 years ago when Ryan first came up with the idea for the campaign.
Yeah?
So I've been sitting on him forever.
Oh, Figgy. Ryan's campaign. The only thing I need to know from you are what is it dexterity and constitution? Is that what the pluses are to?
Let me look it up. Hold up.
You can cower to distract foes. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. I love kobolds.
Allies get advantage attacks continuing with 10 feet if they can see.
Race. Let's see what the race. +2 to dexterity, -2 to strength.
I feel like you almost want to be... You want to... Say that again?
+2 to dexterity, -2 to strength.
And there's no other plus something? That's weird.
Nope. Mm-mm.
That's really weird. Yeah, so then you almost want to be something that's really dex heavy. So.
I don't really even feel any negative. Like, I told Ryan that he should look my character over because he wants you to roll stats. And I just rolled absolutely godly.
Yeah, I looked at every stats, but like they're all so high. So I like bumped mine up a little bit, and then I was like, well, I don't know. I gotta rework my stats. I gotta redo my stats.
Well, there's like a mulligan thing too. Like I think you get like 2 or 3 mulligans or something.
Yeah.
You roll like 6 times and get 1 mulligan, so.
Yeah. When I built my character, I did it real quick when he was first talking about it. And I needed to actually like sit down and really like make it good, because I was just looking at like what I would get and like what the build would be. Well, it's like, and like looking at, I don't know, did you see like Hunter's character has like 2 18s and like a 16 and a 14 and like crazy things.
Yeah, I mean, I have a 20.
Yeah, I just mean like looking at like I like to look at like the negative stats, and like I looked at everybody's and nobody had like negative stats.
I mean, I have a negative, but it's not by much.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's like generally you should try to have like I feel like it should have like a well balanced character has like either like 2 -1s or like 1 -2, and then like definitely at least a 0 or something like that, and like everybody had like positive things. And I was like, I don't know about this, but that's the thing with rolling is like it's just rolling, you know.
Yeah.
Point buy really is the best. So I mean, rogue obviously. I feel like for your kobold that would be kind of the obvious option.
Yeah, but would that really match with the like a brother thing? Because like we're not really sneaky when we're all together.
Well, it's like you're pretending to be sneaky and you're not good at it, you know. But then you could really be good at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like if your deception is really high or you're something like that, and then obviously you get expertise in that too, and that may actually solve your Nico problem because then you won't feel like you need to put Nico as a rogue because then you can like play the rogue and you'll be like, oh, that's my rogue.
Well,
rogues are very dex heavy too. That's also the big thing that I'm looking at.
I don't want Nico to be a rogue just because I wanted to play a rogue.
Oh yeah.
It's like the lore behind a Kitsune is a stealthy sorcerer.
How about monk? How about monk?
Monk? I've never played a monk before. They've always seemed boring to me. What do you think it'd be like?
I mean, you've seen Guru Ken. Guru Ken's a lot of fun. Why? Because monks. Okay, so unarmored defense beginning at the first level. So just so long as you put some stuff into wisdom as well, it's your AC is 10 plus your dexterity modifier plus your wisdom modifier. So I mean, almost like if it's like you're the leader of these 2 monks or these 2 other kobolds that don't want to fight or something like that. So you can just I don't know. Martial arts is fun. I mean, because you get like lots of attacks every turn, and then key. Basically, all your key is that you spend your key points in order to get bonus actions, such as like dash, dodge. What's the other one?
Isn't there one where you
disengage?
Can
Disengage. Yeah, there's obviously attacking. Unarmored movement at second level, your speed increases by 10 feet while you're not wearing armor.
Gurukin didn't have armor?
No, Gurukin does not have any armor.
That's insane.
No, Gurukin is massive. And then obviously like different traditions. Monk would work really well, I feel like, as a kobold. I mean, obviously there's also druid, could be fun. I'm just go down the list. I mean, barbarian could be good. I mean, it's tricky because like barbarians are typically very strength heavy, but you could also get away with like a barbarian with high dex. Again, you would probably want high wisdom. Yeah, it depends on, let me see, the proficiencies. I mean, they're proficient in, like, all the weapons, so you just pick weapon that's finesse of some kind, or, you know, a dex-based weapon. You could even be a barbarian that just did, like, longbows and stuff, I think. If the proficiencies are there, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, bard would probably not be a great choice.
No.
Cleric would probably not be a sound choice. It'd be an interesting choice. That could be fun, but it wouldn't fit with your theme of your 3 kobolds talked on top of each other. I mean, fighter, and then like druid. I said I don't really see maybe them stacked on each other. That doesn't because like they don't wear trench coats.
I could see fighter.
Yeah, I mean, I think rogue and fighter are the 2 that like stand out as the most obvious choices.
I don't really know what you could do with fighter.
Martial archetypes. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, champion, battle master, eldritch knight. They don't really come up. I mean, dex heavy things. I mean, well, you're already playing a sorcerer. A draconic bloodline sorcerer could be good for a kobold, but it doesn't necessarily fit your things with 3 things stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing too with kobolds, though, is that like kobolds are typically like wilderness dwelling creatures. So in order to get something that's like in a city environment, because like obviously a trench coat implies cityness, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
or like modernization. So it kind of almost needs to be like a rogue because it's like deceptive in ways. I feel like I'm just trying to like line it up lore wise.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be cool with rogue.
I'm bard, barbarian, yeah. And I mean, then you could do. I mean, a monk again. It could be interesting because when you pick your a tradition, I'm trying to think of a tradition that would be good for that. Because like oftentimes people don't play them as characters, but like when you have like a DM playing a monk, sometimes they will be like agents, or it's like agents that have a couple levels of monk, just to be like.
The kobolds are definitely agent-esque, just like not really agent for a person, but like just sneaking around for themselves.
Yeah, and and like I said, you definitely have to like try to figure out how to tie it in to just like just like a trench coat,
Yeah.
Because it's like a barbarian's not gonna have a trench coat. A bard could have a trench coat. Cleric, kind of could have a trench coat. Druid, druids could be anything. Fighter could have a trench coat. Monk could have a trench coat. Kind of. Paladin's probably not gonna have a trench coat. And even then, they're so strength based. Maybe like a paladin with a rapier could be interesting. There's a lot of interesting builds you could do with a kobold.
Well, here's the thing: you probably can't wear too much armor. I would imagine, being on top of two other kobolds.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too with the paladin is that paladins are typically very heavy armored.
Yeah.
And the kobold has such low strength that he may not even qualify for the heavy armor because you have to have like a strength of set 13 or something like that.
Yeah, that means that I would have to put 15 points into it, which is pretty whack.
I'm trying to think what would be 3 centaurs stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, I just saw a picture of 3 kobolds in a trench coat on the cover of the new book.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I have to do it. And then I was talking to Tristan about it, and he's like, it's totally possible, with the night background. But, you're right. I could just make my own background.
And that's the thing, too, is you could tie it into, anything, If you want to do, monk, you could call it instead of... Well, even Brothers of the Pack is an interesting, you're from a monastic, tradition that is, we are the brothers. We stick together. We do this, or something along those lines. You could tie it in that way, or... I keep going back to monk. I gotta think of other things to compare it to. Even if you were a rogue, it's okay, we are a secret coalition of kobolds that have infiltrated human society. They suspect nothing.
The 3 brothers that think they've infiltrated society.
We are the brothers of the pack.
That's hilarious.
But you could even do, sorcerer, warlock, wizard. We are the brothers of the pack. We are a magic organization that have infiltrated. That's a good way to do it too.
Yeah.
Even looking at if you take if you try to merge the criminal background and the knight background a little bit. Paladin's not going to work. It's an interesting build, but it's not going to work.
I feel I definitely have to take the criminal background.
Yeah, but then the criminal background, you don't get your feature of your 3 kobolds.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You don't get your retainers.
Yeah.
Even druid. Okay, we are a circle of brothers that have infiltrated.
Dude, it's definitely fun to think about, though.
Bard, we are musicians. We are.
The 3 musicians, dude. That would be.
He's
insane.
I'm the lead singer of the band, yo.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be hilarious. So he's a lead singer of a band.
But that's the thing too. Is that with Bard, you would get. Dex would be good because it would keep your AC slightly higher, but at the same time, it's there's not really anything else. So you're gonna, at most you'd have your charisma be a 16, which is fine. That's what your Nico is. But again, that you're running into problems with Nico, that kind of thing. But Bard could be interesting.
Yeah.
Cleric doesn't really come back to anything.
I think Bard would be funny though, because you'd be the 3 brothers, and you think that you're fooling everyone into thinking you're just a dragon, not a dragonborn, a half dragon, or a tiefling or something like that. I don't know what kobolds would be closest to.
Honestly, it might be closest to dragonborn-ish, because they obviously they worship dragons, and they're sort of sand dragon, lizard, goblin things.
Yeah. So you could put yourself on the trench coat, and then you could just say that that's what your race is, and then just be a really famous singer. I think that would be hilarious. Then one day some accident happens, one of the musicians steps on your trench coat and it falls down.
We're the cold boys.
The cold boys. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, cleric and paladin are definitely out. Ranger could be interesting, but again, there's no trench coat and there's no, because they're wilderness based. Even druid is very wilderness based, so it's
Yeah.
That would be an interesting. Sorry, this is a side note, but that would be an interesting idea for a druid. Is get a druid circle of the city or something like that. You know what I mean?
circle the city.
How do you think that would work? Very, very tentative. Well, it's like instead of like the moon or other like nature-based things, like just in terms of like because like they're obviously always creating these new subclasses and stuff, and it's like things that are like completely different. Where it's like the Hexblade is completely opposite from all of the other Warlock classes, and then like the Eldritch Knight is completely different from all of the fighter classes, things like that. Where it's like, or even like a Blade Singer wizard is a physical wizard type thing. There are like these anomalies that they're trying to create. So it's like, well, what's the opposite of all these druid circles? It's like, well, something of the city. That would be an interesting thing to create. I don't know how you would do it. It's just a thing that came to my mind at 3:30.
Well, what are druids known for? It's like they're shape-shifting, right?
Yeah, druids are known for shape-shifting. So it's like, I wonder if it's like, I mean, like, I guess
city animals.
I guess like the changeling is sort of the city version of a druid. You know what I mean?
Well, changelings can only change into things that have the same limb arrangements.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like they're like, instead of changing into animals, they're changing into people. You know what I mean? Because there's not really animals in the city. There's people in the city. That's the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see. I just didn't know if we were gonna like try and take it to like city animals like rats or cats or like pigeons or.
And then you don't. Well, and that's the thing too, is that like druids turn into like big animals typically. Because I mean, you can turn into little animals, but why would you? Because you're fighting, a beholder. You're not going to turn into a cat.
Well, I know. I was just thinking.
So it's tricky. Well, that's what I mean. Is because there's no like city. There's no big city animals. Because that's the point of a city. It's just hard to think of that. Maybe not.
The only thing with changelings is you don't take the physical elements of what you change into. So, like druids, you get the physical elements of a bear, but changelings does not work like that.
Yeah. I just mean that. I don't mean they're exact. I don't mean they're exact.
Yeah.
Exacts. But words you could say. Well, yeah.
I'm thinking.
Everybody's a Hexblade Warlock.
Hey, listen. I have tons of fun with this elf. If anything, I'm going to say that I started the wave. Kits is not a Hexblade. I forget what he is. He's the C one.
I don't know anything about that one. I don't have that one on D&D Beyond, so I don't know anything about it. I played a Pact of the Chain, and that was a good one. I like that a lot.
Pact of the Chain. What is that one? I always forget.
It's all about familiars and like controlling your familiars and stuff like that. And I had my familiar was an imp. And he could like talk, and he was like mad because I enslaved him. So he was like, yeah, I'm an imp. It's good stuff. It's like you get different kinds of familiar options, and they're different than like animals. They're like mythical creatures that you have enslaved, like an imp. And there's two more. I forget what they are. Still don't know what I want to be for Tommy's game. I'm like Warlock. I'm hovering around. I guess Rogue. I'm always hovering around. I like Rogue, but I never play Rogue.
I feel like Rogue's kind of boring to some extent. Unless you're just doing full stealth, you don't really have a time to shine.
Yeah, and like Rogue is really good in like I feel like a city environment, but it's like okay, you're gonna go in a dungeon. It's like okay, well, it's a Rogue. I guess traps and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. What are Rogue? Is there Rogue subclasses?
Yeah, but they don't stand out like the other ones do. It's like Thief, Assassin.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a really good one. Oh, maybe I will do that. That's what I was going to do instead when I was looking at characters. I was going to do this one. It was back when we all TPK'd. It was.
I can't do my 3 kobolds because me and Ryan were going to plan to do something together. I just remembered. Unfortunate.
It's a secret?
I'm sure it'll be more enjoyable if we keep it a secret.
Fine. Scout is what I was looking at before. Scout is good. It has starting at 3rd level, you're difficult to pin down during a fight. You can move up to half your speed as a reaction when an enemy ends its turn within 5 feet of you. This movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. So it's like somebody moves in towards you, and you're like, no, I'm gonna get out of there, and you can just get out of there for free for your reaction.
Oh, dude, hell yeah!
I might do that with I might do that with a monk, like 1 level of monk, depending on what level we are.
Is there anywhere where he talked about it on like chat, so like I can look it up, or is it word of mouth?
What do you mean,
Tommy? Because like I
it's
want
word
to
of
start
mouth.
making. I want to
It's
start
word of
making a
mouth
character now.
because yeah, I'll text. I'll text him tomorrow when it's not 3 a.m. Well, today when it's not 3 a.m. because I'm curious about it. Because the other day when he popped onto, actually it was yesterday. Shit, yeah, yesterday when he popped onto when we were playing Among Us, he was like, Tristan was on the phone with him, and I can whenever Tristan's on the phone, you can always hear Tristan's in the conversation, and he was like, "Yeah, we could probably do that. Yeah, we'd like to play your game. Your game's fun." And then so he like brought it up then, and then today when we were talking about it, Tristan brought that up again. But it's also something that Tristan's already played before with a character or something like that. So they've already done one session or whatever, but it was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it's very word of mouth.
You know, my computer, it's starting like bright pages are starting to get burned into the screen. Should I be concerned about the health of my computer?
How old is it?
It's like a year old.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, it sounds like it's just a monitor issue.
Yeah.
If anything.
I mean, it goes away at some point. But if I set it like a white page, like right now, I can read I'm on
the nudie Judy pics. The nudie Judy pics burned into your screen.
like I'm straight up reading my D&D character page while I'm on Discord. Like I can see like my AC is 16. It's almost like I can see through Discord into the web browser behind it.
I wonder is that. Oh, it's not like your. I don't even know how you would do that, but it's not like your Discord is like has opaqueness to it, right?
No, it's like the screen's like.
That's weird.
Like, let me pull up something else and see if it. Hey, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, so I just pulled up Steam and it's still burned into the screen. I mean, it's gonna go away, but it's just weird. Let me look that up.
I had the weirdest idea for a rogue tavern brawler feat warlock. I don't know if that will pan out.
It's called Screen Burn-In or Ghost Image,
which is bad, right?
I don't know. It seems like it's just like a thing that happens. Not really much to worry about. Let's see.
See if it's like a computer issue or like a monitor issue, because it sounds like just a monitor issue. Is it only on? You have 2 screens, right? Oh no, this is at work,
this
right?
is my laptop. Yeah.
Oh, this is your laptop. I guess the way to test it would be to connect your laptop to a display, see if it does it, and then at least that way you know it's your laptop. What kind of laptop is it? Is it just like a HP something or other? Or?
It's like a Asus. I don't know. In my opinion, it's kind of a doo-doo laptop, but
okay, yeah, then that could just be what it is. Yeah, that could just be what it is.
Screen brightness, time, other factors cause burn-in. Enable pixel shift. Many modern TVs have a built-in pixel shift.
Okay, I'm piecing this together slowly. I know I want to have the Tavern Brawler feat, and I think I want to have like 1 level of Barbarian so that I can rage.
Hell yeah.
I think that's the pieces I'm building together so far. I watched a video a while ago, and I forget what it was, but it was like they were like, okay, we're going to create this build, and it's called the Crocodile Hunter, and it's like a lot of characteristics that you wouldn't typically apply to it, but like if you just like it functions in such a way that it's like, okay, this is basically this. And like Tavern Brawler was one where it was like improvised weapons, so it's like you're like the ways that you can something or other. But I think it had like Ranger Beastmaster in there, and I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
Ranger really is the worst.
Pet build, where you have like an animal as a pet.
I read something the other day, and it said something about you can give feats to your beast.
Oh, wow.
Or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about Rangers. The problem is that they just don't have any abilities. Because it's like the natural explorer, you're familiar with one type of environment, which is nice, I guess, when you're traveling. But 90% of the time it's pretty useless. Because it's just like difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. It's a group thing. Group can't become lost except by magical means. When you're engaged in another activity while traveling, you remain alert to danger. Traveling alone, you move stealthily at a normal pace. When you forage, you find twice as much food. It's like it's all tracking related things, and like it doesn't actually benefit you in terms of like, combat, dungeon crawls, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting style, I mean, that's everybody gets fighting style. And like ranger archetypes, there's not really a lot of good stuff going on necessarily. And primeval awareness, for 1 minute, you can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you: aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. The feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number. So it's like, okay, we're in a swamp. Yes, there are elementals. Could be a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
Could be an inch away. It's like, okay, you're about to enter the Feywild. Okay, I'm gonna use my thing. Yeah, there's Fey. Okay. It's like, oh, we're in a dungeon. There's undead. Where? Find out.
Yeah. Guess it's not that specific of where.
It doesn't. You don't get to know where. You just get to know that they're within a mile of you. Not all classes were created equal. Because again, you look at like monk, and monks get so many things, and like even like rogues get a lot of things and stuff like that. I don't know. That's the thing about monks, is that like they just have bonus actions.
Yeah, I've never played a monk, and I mean, I don't know. Tristan always told me that he thought they were boring, so I just never even thought about them.
Really, I don't know. Monk is one of my favorites. Monk is in my top 3 for sure. Monk's in my top 3. Druid's in my top 3. Warlock or sorcerer, or maybe the other one.
I really wish I could be home right now.
I feel you. What time did you start work?
7 p.m.
Okay.
You gotta work the 12-hour shift.
Yeah, I did 10 today.
No.
It was pretty boring.
I'm guessing you had to pay attention to something. You couldn't just stay on your phone.
No, I was. I was in a different room, and I was working on stuff, but it's stuff that I wasn't interested in. So it's I was getting up and walking around every so often, and I'd go listen to them. And towards the end, it was I wanted them to be done. So I was they'll be done soon. They'll be done soon. So I kept going in and listening. And oh my god, that was awful. They were it's 50 people, and there's these 2 people that are up, and they're just talking to them, and they're explaining basically imagine if somebody was explaining to you how to do your job, because it's a hotel, so it's they're explaining how to do your job for 10 hours.
Yeah, that'd be pretty whack, dude.
And you're just sitting there. I couldn't imagine it. And that's stuff this is how you say thank you to the guests, and this is how you apologize to the guests, and this is how you do this. And it's just I don't know, I just got bits and pieces of it, but it was people talking to children.
Yeah, dude, if my manager came to me with something like that, I'd be do you think I hit my brain or something? Did I do something wrong?
Trying to make jokes, but them being bad jokes. Welcome back.
What was that?
Baba Booey with the Baba Booby.
Eli, I would say I'm pretty certain that Hunter will let you, but I would say ask Hunter if he'll let you throw the rapier bone or rapier proficiency or whatever proficiency onto your character, because it's not even a big proficiency thing to get,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter because we're probably never going to play it again.
That's fair.
But
and it could be a thing too where it's oh, I picked up this thing. It's a rapier. Oh wow, it turns out I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah,
natural born prodigy.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could just train with it. Ask him after this session, technically, could we have had a bunch of downtime? And during that downtime, you train with it.
Yeah, could do that.
Yeah.
I forget what I was going to say. Hey.
Just kidding. It probably smells really.
I'm finna get off. I'm tired. It's almost 4 a.m.
Hey, Tristan.
Yes, sir.
I also have something for you, Tristan.
You have no clue what level Tommy wants us to be?
I think it's above level 3.
Okay, pop off.
I'm 86.257% sure that it's level 4.
Is he going to prepare maps or?
I think he's preparing map. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to send him my Roll20 info.
Because is it going to be a Jesus prepared map or?
No, he'll have access to all. I think it's going to be a little bit more because Jesus didn't have access to my Roll20 until last second.
Gotcha.
So I'm giving him access to mine, so he'll have access to all my assets.
Yeah, and also like Jesus's too was like he was like, I mean, we're not playing. You guys want to play something? Yeah, we want to play something. He's like, okay, I got an idea. You know, so it really was like last minute.
Yeah.
So if Tommy doesn't have something prepared and say like we don't end up doing that, are you gonna have something prepared?
Yes.
For us?
Yes, I'm gonna do some prep work tomorrow night.
Do you know where you want to start taking the story?
What, my story? Yeah, I know. I know where I want to start taking the story. What's it called? And I think it's the same direction. I'm not gonna give away details, but I'm thinking I'm not gonna give away the fine details, but I'm thinking the next step for you guys to follow at least the direction I want to go. I mean, obviously you guys could say no, I want to go the other way, but the next step I think is you guys talk to Cal. Figure out what you need to do to get him to help you with the siege of Felsidon, which is going to be a very interesting place. But after you get through Felsidon, it's going to be you're going to be traveling east towards Turvin. And I'm hoping Tommy will get the first item, and eventually, before you guys find the fourth item, eventually get the second and third item from you and Marin.
Yeah. We'll see.
I know.
We'll see.
Secrets.
Make him dance around like a fucking monkey.
The funniest thing was when you popped on after you like hopped off and then hopped back on, and we were like talking about it. You're like, "Oh, I have that."
Huh? Yeah, is that?
Yeah.
Dude, Tristan was talking about it like with me.
I was like, I just want to make sure he gets it.
And he was like, Tristan started was like, so I hope that we can like all get together so like we can get Tommy this weapon because it's made for him. And then me and Hunter started laughing. We're like, yeah, right. He's not getting it. And then Tristan believed us.
Like,
and he's like, all right, Dazelle dies instantly. I was like, whoa.
I was kidding. You know I was kidding.
No, I know.
What do you mean? Hey, we're joking. Hey.
We're joking here. Hey.
Rocks fall. Dazelle and Marin die. We're in the middle of the field. Doesn't matter.
We just look over and both of them are like foaming out the mouth and having like a seizure. Just had a brain hemorrhage on the spot. Hey, what the hell?
I feel that.
Psychic rocks fall, dealing 1 million psychic damage. 1 million. So everyone else looks over. They're just fucking catatonic.
Trying to think. So are we going to start the session where Cal is?
I'm thinking we're going to start the session probably back in Darrowwood. Maybe like you guys will talk with Bobby for some time.
Are we going to have any downtime since it's been a while?
It hasn't been a while. Really, we're going to be picking up the moment you guys get back to Darrowwood. Because I know you guys said, let's go back to Darrowwood, regroup, figure out what we need to do.
Well, because we weren't going to go west for reasons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think everyone knows.
Yeah, we weren't going to go west because of the Death Knight.
Yeah. But I mean, west is where Turvin is.
So,
I mean, it's up to you if you want to go that way. But Tommy wants something specifically from Felsidon. Tommy's character goal for being with you guys right now is to hopefully have people help him get to the Shrine of Palor that is in Felsidon.
So then, like, I have like questions now because like I don't know where that puts me and Cal at this point.
I think you will learn a lot about Cal very soon.
Gotcha.
And you're probably going to learn a bit about his motives. Because I don't think I've been clear enough with his character because everyone hates him in a way that they love him. Like, everyone loves him because he's mysterious. But everyone's like, I fucking hate this guy.
Well, I hate him.
It's just because
Marin hates him.
It's just because he smells like dead people and Guru Ken is a stuck-up fool.
But I have a reason to hate him. And Marin hates him because I hate him.
I have a reason.
Huh? You have a reason to hate him?
Yeah, he smells like dead people, and Guru Ken's a stuck-up fool.
Well, I kind of have more of a reason than that, but
you guys haven't seen his undead horde. When you guys start seeing his undead horde, you'll start realizing, like, oh, okay. There's
Let the dead stay
certain
dead.
details. Some people don't deserve the right of slumber. is his mentality.
Okay, yeah, but you better back off.
Huh?
Step off.
You better back off.
He is human in the most philosophical way. He has made mistakes.
Do you think I could get one of those spirits from him so I can do that thing with Marin?
What spirit?
Just that one spirit thing that I was talking about for the weapon.
Oh,
You want spirit?
you could probably find something from him.
Huh?
Actually, I mean, he literally. Your character wouldn't know this, but he literally does have a wraith enslaved.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Which wraiths are the embodiment of evil. They're an individual who died such a violent death that they pursed life itself.
Can I tell a certain someone about my idea, and then so we can acquiesce that wraith spirit?
Sure.
I don't know if it'll work out like that.
You can attempt to. He'll probably ask for a lot more, because right now that wraith, with Eidos taking the Death Knight, that wraith is his most powerful member of his horde. He might be able to give you a specter. He'll probably be more likely to give you a specter because wraiths make specters.
If I was to make this weapon, how much is it going to cost me?
If you want to trap if you want to trap an evil spirit in a weapon, you can. The amount of gold you pour into it is entirely how many safety measures you put into it. If you make it cheap, it's not going to be safe. If you make it very expensive, yeah, it will be pretty safe.
How expensive do you need to make it for it to be safe?
To trap a evil spirit, I've got to look at sentient weapons and see what their rarities are.
Does the more money I put into it obviously make it more powerful?
Yes. Because the spirit, I mean, not necessarily. So if you enchant a weapon with an evil spirit, the power will be entirely dependent on how strong said spirit was. However, the money you pour into it, other than the money you spend trapping the spirit inside of it, that money will determine how safe the weapon is to not corrupt the person.
Because, I don't know, I'm just thinking, because, my weapon is a 5,000 gold weapon.
Yeah. Your weapon
I don't have that money.
The thing is your weapon is very, very good. Your weapon will be good as long as this campaign runs. That is the kind of weapon that your character will always have a use for. Not necessarily as your packed weapon, but having it in a bag of holding will be good to have because the enchantment on that weapon.
Yeah.
That enchantment is just absurdly good.
I do be liking that enchantment, though.
Exactly. Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
Sentient magic items, creating them.
God, some of the maps people make is insane.
Also, I was thinking, will Marin be able to see the effect?
What do you mean the effect?
So, it makes no one's going to be able to see this effect that the weapon I'm thinking does. You know what I mean? Because it's all in the mind of the person who was attacked. But can Marin gain the ability to see it by holding the weapon?
From the way I am reading this bit about sentient weapons, is one there's a bit of it can read and write, or it can read, speak, and understand certain languages and communicate it to the wielder telepathically and things like that. And then it can also have all the way up to dark vision, 120 feet. The alignment is whatever, and then there's all these things about its purpose, and the purpose would be pretty much dictated by the creature. But from what I've read very quickly here, maybe the sword would communicate to him what the victim is seeing, but he wouldn't necessarily see it.
Got you.
Perhaps it would be you attack a fucking elf. Say you stab an elf with the weapon. Perhaps the victim would see a warband of orcs running over the horizon or rushing into the room or something of that nature, because orcs hate elves and kill them on sight, usually. The sword may then, if it's powerful enough, communicate to the wielder, this guy's afraid of orcs. And then Marin can do what he wants with that information, or the wielder can do what he wants with that information.
Did it say anything about the cost, though?
No, it doesn't say anything about the cost. However, the thing is whenever you pour a spirit into a weapon, it has ways of communicating, and it has its own senses. At least the fact that it has its own senses means that it can essentially act as a second pair of eyes for the player, and even understand languages the players can't understand. And it has its own purpose, which is just entirely dependent on, that's like what, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Purpose. The enchantment I would probably base it off of whatever the creature is, but
yeah, I mean you don't have to do like necessarily do it on like the race.
Yeah,
what they would be afraid of. You know what I mean? You could probably just do some like really basic stuff, like I don't know, like.
Well, I mean, like you want it to be a fear effect.
Yeah, a fear effect, but I mean, like like, there could be like personal fears and then like racial fears.
I just threw the elf thing out as like a example.
Yeah.
What's it called? I mean, the price of this weapon, I don't think Frighten is going to be expensive. I think the expensive bit is going to be the evil spirit, because of the fact that you'll have to put safety measures into this weapon.
Do you have any idea of what that looks like? Like, do I need to like write down 10 commandments for this fucking sword, or are you going to carry most of that weight and I just say yes or no to it?
It's going to be, I'm probably going to give you some numbers. Like, I'm probably going to give you some numbers based off of how much gold you want to pump into this. Depending on the creature's challenge rating that you're going to imprison into the weapon, say a Spectre, that's not too crazy. It's only challenge rating 1.
That's pretty weak, though.
Yeah, it's pretty weak. I would say with no safety measures, a Spectre would probably, like, for it to force you to do something you don't want to do, you'd probably have to fail a saving throw of like 6 or 7, which is pretty low, but still possible. That's with no safety measures.
Gotcha.
You put a little bit of safety measures in it, reduces it to 6 or 5 or whatever, and then you put even more, you can eventually reduce it to 0. And it probably, to get it to 0, it wouldn't take too much, because it's just a Spectre. But ultimately, the Spectre, that's an easier thing to control. And the Spectre is going to be what's feeding the enchantment. So it's a lot easier to control, but because it's a Spectre, the saving throw of the enchantment might be lower. Say it's a Wraith. It will be harder to control a Wraith than a Spectre, but the enchantment will be more powerful. Now, say we bump up to a Flame Skull. Flame Skull is going to be harder to control than a Wraith. Even though I know that the challenge rating of a Flame Skull is lower than a Wraith, a Flame Skull is fucking busted.
Yeah.
Flame Skull is very powerful. It's like, it's a challenge rating 3 creature that can fireball twice.
Per turn?
No, twice, like in general. But 2 fireballs is enough to wipe like a 3rd level party, usually. But anyway.
So then how much would it cost?
I don't know. I don't want to give you a number because I don't know. I don't have a system in place for it yet.
Because collectively, me and Marin have like probably 2K in gold. Maybe a little bit more, but I'm really not trying to spend all my...
It wouldn't take up 2K. It wouldn't take up maybe even 1K for a Spectre.
Well,
Spectre would be easy to control.
I would hope
thinking
the
it would
Spectre would be
probably
way
take
cheaper
like
than 1K.
it'd probably be like 600 to contain a Spectre completely.
Is that with or without safety measures?
That is with safety measures. 600. Okay. That's 600 in safety measures. The weapon would probably cost a certain amount, and getting the Spectre into it would probably just more so be the ritual and the components of the ritual getting it into the blade, which, if you play your cards right with Cal, he may help you with. Because Cal has done a similar ritual to this with a wraith, but not to a weapon. It's bound to him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just for like easy sake, can he just have like some of these things just on hand in a jar somewhere?
Do you think he would give it to you for free?
No, absolutely not. That's why I would pay for it. But like,
just
trying to figure out
like, he could have it on hand. I don't mind if he has it on hand. As long as you pay him for it, and we come across a certain amount of gold that can be paid for it, then that's fine. But the thing is if you contain a Spectre, it's going to be easier to control, like I said, but the power level of the enchantment's going to be lower. The saving throw is going to be a lower one.
I get that.
Okay, cool.
So so I'm trying to think of like what's the step above a Spectre, and then what kind of like psychic damage is it going to be able to put out because of it?
Let's see. 2 monsters, and then we'll go to mostly undead are going to be our evil spirits. I mean, obviously, you could do maybe an Alep could be the next thing up. I mean, in reality, I think Banshee's going to be the next thing up, but a Banshee's going to be dangerous to capture. Like, the hard part of the thing with a Banshee is they can just outright kill you. While you're trying to do this ritual, you could die. You've got tons of options of like what it could be, and depending on its challenge rating, or it's what I call true challenge rating, which is how actually deadly this actually is in actual gameplay, because challenge rating is kind of a load of bullshit.
So like, I mean, I was thinking like 3d6 minimum, 3 or 4d6 would be pretty good.
4d6. I think you would have to capture an Alep for 4d6.
And how much would that cost to buy?
An Aleps are harder to find, and also he doesn't have it.
Yeah, Elijah.
Maybe I just won't make Marin a weapon then.
It's just like when you start involving evil spirits, it makes it a lot more complex. At least in my world.
Well, then can I make it to not have an evil spirit and just do the same enchantment?
Yeah. The thing was, I was talking to you the first time, and you were like, "Well, I want to do it as an evil spirit." So I was like, "Okay." So I didn't even think of that as an option this time.
Well, I mean, I kind of felt like it was just like the same thing. Like you said that like enchanting something is like giving a soul to the weapon. So I just thought that it would be like an evil weapon, but like, you know, like if I can just do the enchantment and not have to involve any of that, then
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's entirely correct. It's just like the thing was is you were saying, well, I feel like it should be an evil spirit. So I was like, all right, then we'll go down this route. Because if you go and capture an evil spirit, it can be cheaper, but it probably won't be. Because of the safety measures you have to put in.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, well, if I knew that I could have just like made like an enchantment, just do what I want it to do, then yeah, like then I would have not even worried about the evil spirit.
Well, I think I told you.
I mean, you probably could have. It's just how I interpreted it.
Oh, I gotcha.
So then, what would it cost to make the weapon then?
46 psychic damage. Let me find a weapon that does something similar to that, damage-wise. The thing is psychic's automatically going to make it a little bit more expensive because very few things are resistant to psychic. What is it I'm looking for? Weapons. Magic weapons.
Yeah, Elijah.
How much damage does this thing do? Where's Flame Tongue? I think Flame Tongue's the closest to it.
Jungle Beats Hollow.
No, it isn't.
All right, I think I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
All right, boy.
Eli, I'm gonna have to continue this endeavor because my eyes are starting to hurt from looking at my computer.
I've been up for 22 hours.
Jeez.
It'd be like that.
Shit, that's a nat one.